I'm going to call the meeting to order. This is the workshop portion of the meeting beginning at 6 p.m. this evening. We'll have a call for approval of the agenda at this time or any amendments. I know we do need to add one thing, and that is, I guess, under number 8. Actually, I wished it was under number 6, but anyway, number 8 will be flossed. We'll explain what flossed and L-host means here in a minute, but anyway, just a discussion about that. L-host and versus flossed. That's a mouthful. Anything else? Hearing none, we'll add that to the consent agenda for approval. Approval of previous meeting minutes. Each commissioner was sent those in advance to review. Are there any amendments or edits to the minutes as presented?
No.
Okay, hearing none, we'll add those to the consent agenda for approval. Review of the personnel status report. That's listed in your packet. And there are some vacancies. Actually, I printed something, but I don't see it. Now, I know we have a vacancy in Public Works and primarily the road crew, I think. It's the road crew. No? What is it?
It's
what?
Oh, wow.
Part-time what?
Custodian.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just saw that earlier.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so we do have a part-time position for custodian. I believe it's for primarily downstairs in the library and maybe senior center. So if you're interested in that, let folks know to fill out an application. They can do that online or stop by the office and pick up an application. And I think that's it. It says we're down to one in 911, but I don't know if that's still the case or not, but anyway.
No, it is not.
Okay. Any questions about the personnel status report? Hearing none, we'll add that to the consent agenda as presented. Board appointments this evening. We have, first is an appointment for the Board of Trustees. This is a reappointment to the Dade County Public Library Board of Trustees. Lisa Cagle's term is expiring on June 30th, and she's agreed to serve another 3-year term, commencing July 1st and expiring June 30th, 2029. Any questions about that appointment?
No, you couldn't get anybody better. That's great.
Okay, we'll add that consent agenda for approval. Resolution R-32-26. It's a resolution to appoint a member to the Dade County Department of Family and Children Services Board, Kristen Reyes, for a 5-year appointment commencing July 1st in 2026, ending June 30th, 2031. It's my understanding, I believe it was Johnny Bradford, who expires off June 30th, and he served for many, many years, and we're thankful for Johnny's service on that board. I mean, he's been there a while, and so again, we appreciate Johnny. Any questions about the appointment of Kristen? All right, hearing none, we'll add that consent agenda for approval. We have a proclamation.
Oh, wait, I do have, so what, I guess that's not a district, that's just a person. Anybody could appoint that person? They made a recommendation. Okay.
Because there's a specific guideline in the law that says you need so and so
Yeah,
and such
I
and
gotcha.
such
Okay.
type of from different walks, like educator or.
Yes, I got you.
Yeah, and so they kind of went through a vetting process, and
Sounds good.
that's who
It's
they.
Kristen Barrett from the school. Her last name's different now.
Oh, it was Kristen Barrett from the school,
know
not it's
who she
Reyes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That's who I was like,
Yeah,
that's
but
who I thought it was.
Yeah.
take Superman to replace Johnny Bradford, though. I mean, he's phenomenal. That's good.
He's a good guy.
Yep.
Next thing is proclamation for the month of June. This is for Parks and Recreation Month. Parks and Recreation, of course, are an integral part of the community, not only through our nation, but definitely in Dade County, and lots of different families and folks use the parks. So we recognize the importance of preserving the natural resources and wanted to recognize them as well. This is also not only here, but the state parks. We have one of the best state parks in the state of Georgia. So we're encourage everyone to get out and visit not only our state park, but our local Parks and Rec, as well as the city's park at Jenkins Park. So any question about that? Hearing none, we'll add that consent agenda proclamation. The next one is for Men's Health Month, and that's just a nationwide thing for recognizing the importance of preventative health screenings and early detection and healthier lifestyles. And so that is for June 15th through the 21st, 2026. Any questions on that? All right, we'll add that to consent agenda for approval. Number 5, to my knowledge, we don't have anything to vote upon as far as items for approval for SPLOST, but we do have, y'all been getting the updates weekly on the elections building. Masonry team worked on site each day, and so the brick is going up, the facade on the outside, the brickwork looks great. On the north elevation, electrical rough-in above the ceiling boxes, interior wall box placements have been ongoing. Delivery of the HMD frames was scheduled for May 28th. I had a little setback on some of that material for the roof, but it was just a supply situation. Something was not available, but they substituted something, and it's the same exact material. So we're good there. That's back on schedule. Had a little bit of rain, which did delay things a few days, but again, I think they were ahead of schedule, and the rain kind of delayed a few things, but we got that, what do you call that, the Tyvek stuff on the roof and whatever, and so it kind of protected it. It got wet one day before they had that, but it looks good. If you get a chance, feel free to go through there. If I'm not available, you can just go in, or get with Alex and he can take you down there. But these are the different updates that we've been getting that's enclosed in the packet today. And but electrical, storefront, framing, mechanical, all of it's looking good and on schedule at this point. So, and in budget, which is good. Any questions on that?
That's a good deal.
Okay. I guess we can add it to consent agenda. I'm not sure what we're adding, but anyway. All right, the reports, I suppose. All right.
Just that we discussed.
That we discussed it, yeah, okay. At this time I have Paula Duvall, if you would come forward, please. She's going to talk to us about the values and assessment notices.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Paula Duvall. I'm Chief Appraiser for Dade County. Just wanted to give you guys a general update. There should be another handout that shows the actual ratios. There we go. I just wanted to get this information out. Notices were put in the mail yesterday, so they should start hitting mailboxes. They should start hitting mailboxes probably tomorrow, Saturday, something like that. If you do not receive an assessment notice and you do own property within the county, just let our office know. We'll make sure that you get a notice for your property. Maybe your address has changed and we weren't aware of that. Sometimes that happens. So just let us know if you do not receive one. As far as our website, we did start updating that today. The values are updated, but throughout the night, they will be updating the map layer. So everything will not be on our website probably until tomorrow. They're updating the photos and the mapping tonight. So hopefully by tomorrow, the website will be totally updated. Our website, I'll give you the address, is www.qpublic.net/GA/Dade. And that has all of the records that we have in our office as far as values, maps, photos, everything within a parcel. You can go on our website and you can do your own sales research, comparable research. There's a lot of good information on our website, and I highly encourage you to go and view that. But I wanted to talk about the ratios, the sales ratios, which is what we use every year in determining whether we change values or not for that particular digest year. When we pulled our ratio in January, the first number we look at is the median. What that tells us is how in line are the values we have set up in our system compared to what the actual selling prices are within the county. Basically, the basic formula to find a ratio is you just divide the assessed value, which is your 40% value, by the sale price, and that will give you a little number, a little percentage number. So that will tell you, as close as it is to 0.40, whether our value is good or whether we need to make some adjustments. So because Georgia tax is at 40%, you want to get as close to 40 as possible on your sales ratio. So the numbers you'll see up here, and I did put some handouts on the back here if you'd like to have a handout. When we pulled this number in January, that's before we make any changes. That's where we look and see whether we need to make any changes. That's just the beginning of the process. Our median at that time was a 0.3668, which falls below, well, it's right at, almost below what we need to be at per Department of Revenue standards. The standards are 0.36 to 0.42. But the issue is if you're below 0.38, you cannot collect public utilities at 40%. You can only collect at what you are up to 0.38. So the county can lose money if we're not, per our audit report, if we're not at a 3.8 or above. So yes, was that a passing ratio? Barely, 0.3668. So that does tell us that, once again, we are falling a little bit behind on what the market is actually showing. So that's the first step in the process. Then we look at the COD. The COD is the coefficient of dispersion. That's what measures uniformity. Are we valuing properties using the same methodology across the board? That number for residential properties should not be above a 0.15. For your non-residential properties, it cannot be above a 0.20. So this COD is everything. Your residential property should not be above a 0.15. So this started out as a 0.1676. So basically, just to give you kind of a picture, you got your 0.40 sale price right here. So the COD just measures all your other sales, where the points are. What you're trying to do is tighten up those points so that everybody's uniform and closer to the 40% ratio. So that just gives you a little bit of a picture of how the COD works. The PRD measures bias. Per Department of Revenue standards, that should be a 0.95 to a 1.10. What that tells us is, are we only valuing the higher value properties, or are we only valuing the lower, or are we valuing everybody the same, using the same methodology, same criteria? So if it falls outside of that range, something's wrong somewhere. Now, we were good on our PRD. We always have been, as a 1.03. So that was okay. We're treating everybody the same. Everybody's getting value changes as necessary based on the numbers that we're seeing. So that's your residential. So after, and this is after the changes we made, which I'll go over those here after we get through this, we brought that median up to a 0.39. So that's not at 4.0. We're trying, if you get it at 4.0, you kind of have to look at, are we only changing the sales and not changing everybody else, which is a big no-no. We can't just go in and change the sales parcels and not everybody else. That's not uniformity. So once we made the changes, our median came in at a 0.39, our COD dropped to a 0.08, and our PRD was about the same at 1.02, came down just a little bit. So once we made our changes, and trust me, we do sales ratios all the way through this process. We don't just start with one ratio and then go to the ending ratio. We pull all kinds of sales ratios, pull all kinds of markets and sales and classifications to see, because we have to pinpoint exactly where the problem is. what is exactly low? Is it residential, is it commercial, is it all of it? Is it agricultural properties, or is the land off? You know, so we have to go through that whole process. So it takes several months to work through all this, to get to a final, okay, this is what works, this is where the problem is, we have corrected the issue, and now our numbers are where they should be per Department of Revenue and Department of Audits. So that's your residential. Commercial was pretty low, we came in at a 0.33. COD at a 0.11, so the COD was good, PRD were good, but the median was way low, which just means some of our commercial properties were off. We didn't make any major changes to commercial. We kind of went through and just did some codes and grades and effective year, things like that, instead of doing $1 per square foot or anything like that. Because with commercial sales in this county, you might have one gas station, you might have, you know, a warehouse. So unless you have 3 gas stations, we can't just go in and change all the gas stations because we don't have enough information. So we just take the information that we have and we try to work and see exactly where we can improve and get the number where we need to be. So once we made the changes to the commercial and industrial, we came in at a 0.40, COD is a 0.04, PRD is a 0.98. So commercial, industrial, and residential, after we made our changes, we're coming in where we need to be. Agricultural, that's going to be your properties that are 20 acres and above. That's going to be your ag properties, the majority. Median okay on that one, 0.3794 before we made any changes. COD a little high, we were at a 0.22, PRD at a 1.11. So once we made the changes on the agricultural properties, which is going to be your rural properties, we came in at a little bit higher, 0.3858. COD came down to a 0.12, PRD at a 0.16. So this is just to give you a general idea of what we look at first as to why we make changes to values up or down. Yes, we will go down if that's what the market shows. But, you know, the last 4 or 5 years, it's continually either gone up or stayed very steady as far as what sale prices are or what the market is in this county, which is a good thing, in my opinion. So some of the changes we made, your commercial, industrial, like I said, we made changes to codes, which could be built as, used as, or something might have been a little off, something might have changed as what it was built as and what it was used as. Your grade, which the grade we use on all structures, and that takes into account the design of the structure, the materials used to build the structure. So 100 grade would just be your average grade built properties. So anything up or down is just going to vary from that. And effective years, what we use effective year for is, let's say there was a retail store built 1950. Well, they've made some improvements to it. So this effective year, we're going to raise that effective year because that's going to affect the depreciation. It's not depreciating as a 1950 store anymore. You know, it's made some improvements, so it's not depreciating as much as it would be if it had no improvements. So that's what your effective year is. We use that on residential properties also. Now, as far as residential, we did increase the dollar per square foot, very minor. We went from $135 a square foot to $138. We did, there are things attached to your house, screened-in porches, open porches, decks, garages, patios. All the last 4 or 5 years that we've been changing the dollar per square foot, we haven't touched those particular improvement labels. So this year we did kind of increase those a little bit to go along with the dollar per square foot because it is the total package of your house. You know, it's going to include the porches and the decks and things like that. Urban land is going to be your subdivisions. So it's anything that's not rural. We made a change to just a few subdivisions in the county. Cloud Lookout actually went down a little bit. Edgewood, we kind of went from not valuing it per lot, but valuing it per size. That seems to work out a little better for that particular subdivision. So you'll see the list there of the actual subdivisions we did make some changes in. Lastly, the agricultural, which is your rural land. We did make some accessibility and desirability changes on some of the properties. The accessibility is basically the location. 1 is Lookout Mountain, 2 is the valley, and 3 is Sand Mountain. So those are the only accessibility numbers you'll see. And that does make a difference, you know, as far as your dollar per acre, where you're located in the county. And then the desirability is what we use for your particular property. When we try to go in and just look at your property, is it landlocked? You know, is it down the side of the mountain? Do you have any road frontage? So we do take that into consideration as best we can. That's where you'll see your desirability. That's actually a number, the 1 through 9, 1 being your higher desirable properties, 9 being the lower desirable properties. And we did make a change. There is a base dollar per acre for every rural tract. Last year, that dollar per acre for Area 1 was $1,500. We increased that to $1,600. The 2 and 3, which is the Valley and Sand Mountain, last year was at $1,250. This year, we raised it to $1,375. So very, very minor changes. We did the least amount that we could possibly do and still maintain our statistical numbers. We are audited by the Department of Audits every year, so, you know, we could not make changes, you know, but the county will suffer eventually down the road if we're not keeping up with the market. So we do try to do that the best we can, making the least amount of changes that we have to. So that's what we did this year, and we feel pretty confident. Appeal time, you have 45 days from yesterday, from June the 3rd, which will be July the 20th, to file an appeal. Please come in and talk to us. Please look at your assessment notice. That's the next thing I want to show you. The assessment notice is going to look a little different this year. The legislature did make some more changes to the assessment notice, so we had to go back and redo the assessment notice again. So the top you'll see is just your basic, it looks the same. It has your dates, when it was mailed, what's the last day to appeal, you'll see your address. That next box, you'll see the appeal pathways, Board of Equalization, Arbitration, Superior Court, it just goes down through there. It gives you the contact information as far as our phone number, our address. And then the next little section there is where you'll see your property information. It'll have your parcel ID, it'll have your acreage, and then you'll see your 100% value. Now last year you saw 100% and 40%. You saw the fair market value and the assessed value. This year you're only going to see the 100% value. So to get your assessed value, which is what you're actually taxed on, all you do is take that times 0.40, which is 40%. And that will give you your taxable value. And the next blank after the values, you'll see other value, which is going to be if you have a conservation covenant, if you have a preferential covenant, you'll see your exempt amount there, your covenant value there. The next box, I think, is just giving a little bit of information. You should have some assessment reasons. Most of the time, it's just annual assessment notice if nothing else changed on your property besides just the regular updates that we do. The last box that you'll see is a little new this year. Instead of having a estimated tax amount or a rollback rate or anything like we showed last year, what you're going to see is what you're saving with your exemptions. So if you have exemptions on your property, that little box there is going to show you how much you're saving because you have those exemptions. So I just want to let everybody see what the assessment notice is going to look like. Please review it. Please look at our website, look at your property, look at your neighbor's property. You know, do some research, come in and talk to us. We'll give you any of the information we use to make the changes to the property. We're more than happy to provide that. And also during this 45-day period, a new legislation also passed with this that you can apply for your homestead exemptions during this 45-day period. So you have until July 20th. If you lived on the property July 1st, if that was your primary residence, you have through July 20th to get your homestead in for this year. Now, if you didn't live there January 1st, you can still come in and apply, and we'll get it set up for 2027. So just wanted to throw that out there. That is kind of new. So please come and see us, call us. We're always there. The door's always open. We'll be glad to talk to you. Any questions?
Thank you.
No questions for Paula? Thank you, Paula. Appreciate it. All right. I don't have a copy of that in my packet, but I'll let you announce it. Public hearing. The next thing on the agenda is our announcement of our FY27 public hearing announcement. And so I don't have it in my thing, but I believe it's, our county clerk will let us know what that is.
You're gonna have to wait just a minute, I'm gonna have to find it.
Yeah. All right, do y'all have it pulled up?
Is it on here?
No.
I think
It is.
Yeah, you
I haven't
sent
sent
out-
it out yet.
June 18th,
The 18th?
Wednesday, June the 18th at
it's
10
on.
a.m.
Yeah, you already sent it out to us.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's in
Didn't
here.
print for whatever.
You didn't print?
Yeah, it's online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, read it to us. Invite everyone to it. Somebody read it. Let me.
Philip, you got it? Great, thanks.
Right, that's it.
Okay, notice of public hearing to adopt the FY '27 budget. This isn't the right one. A public hearing will be held by Dade County Board of Commissioners on Wednesday, June 18th at 10 a.m. in the Commissioners' Public Meeting Room located inside the Dade County Administrative Building, 71 Case Avenue, Trenton, Georgia, to adopt the fiscal year 2027 budget for Dade County, Georgia. Any persons wishing to be heard on the budget may appear.
All right, since this is a public hearing and we've had this issue this year, is there going to be any information that needs to be posted somewhere so the public can look at it before the public hearing?
Well,
So
it's in the paper, like it goes to the paper.
Are you talking
No,
about
no,
the
no.
actual budget?
Yes,
The
yes.
proposed budget, yes.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the announcement for the meeting.
Oh, I was like,
No, 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 I'm not talking about that. But see, before, we've had folks concerned, it's a public hearing. They didn't have the data to review before coming to the public hearing. So that's a fair concern. So I'm just asking, is something gonna be posted somewhere so they can review it before they come? I'm just making that point.
So, Madam CFO, when will we have that available?
oh, here, you can have mine.
There is a proposed budget out there. I just put it out there today because we had a budget meeting at 3:30 today that is not in there because it was at 3:30. So there will be changes to what's out there, but there is a proposed one currently out there.
Okay, and where would people find it?
It's in that agenda item, in Simply.
Oh,
So
it's-
they have it pulled up right now, yeah.
There it
It's not
is.
posted yet.
It's
not posted yet.
here. Yeah, it's here, but the announcement isn't.
No, it's for, so that right there.
It's not gonna be in the paper till next Wednesday, therefore, that's not posted yet. That's just for the commissioners to be able to review.
Oh, okay, all right, so,
Okay,
this
okay.
is, okay,
I get
so,
what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But it is in Assembly so people
But
can
it will
look.
be in
It is.
assembly, yes.
But I just want, it is a proposed, it's a very rough draft.
That's fine, as long
There
as
will be
it's out there and
changes.
we're working it, that's good,
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah.
all right,
That's
so,
just a point I wanted to make.
if you go to our county website, you can jump to the agendas and pull up, like tonight, it's under number 8. But we'll make it easier than that, Gary, right? We can put it on the front page, so people can click right on it, and it's, like she said, we did have a budget hearing this afternoon with Superior Court Clerk Kathy Page, at 3:30, and so, you know, we tried to get most of those done in the month of May, but she was unable to, she had some surgery, and so, anyway, we made it happen today, and she's about the last one, I think. Most everyone
so.
else is, if they have it come through, they've already called us and told us that they're good. They made no changes to their proposed budget. Just so you know what we're looking at this year, we do not have any scheduled cost of living allowances built in to the budget, meaning it's zero, which we don't like. I mean, as far as, you know, employees, when they go to the grocery store and buy gas, it's just as expensive as to you as it is to them. But at the present time, the state did not give a COLA, and therefore the county has, so far, have budgeted zero COLA. I don't see how we can this year, but if something changes, then we'd be more than happy to entertain one. The insurance, our initial estimate on insurance was up 43%. We got to the point where we told Cigna that we were not going to renew. They changed their heart a little bit and came down to 20.98%, which means 21% increase. It's better than 43, but still, and we had decrease. I'm sorry, decrease. And so we had what do you mean? No, it's 21.98. 21% is an increase from
So it
current year.
From 40%, it went.
No. 43 down to 21%.
Yeah, that's what I mean, it's a.
Yes, no, it didn't go up to 60. We wouldn't do that. So anyway, there's 21% increase from the current year, FY '26 to FY '27. And we increased the deductibles on the employees $1,500. Again, without a raise, I mean, hopefully you're not sick. But anyway, that's the only way we could get that down to 21% increase through lots of negotiating with the insurance broker that we use. The capital, let's see, I'm trying to think of the other things. The fuel is up, no surprise there. Fuel is up, and if fuel comes down, then we can bring the budget down through a budget amendment. But right now, until it's down, we had to increase it based off the going into July, looking at next year. Any kind of contracted service that we have with whatever division of county government it is, if it dealt with fuel, if it's tied to fuel, okay, meaning asphalt when paving roads is tied to fuel, it's tied to oil. Transporting garbage from the transfer station to the landfill deals with fuel, so there's increase there. Sheriff's deputies use it, of course, out here, that's not really contracted services, but that's anything that dealt with fuel caused an increase across the board. And there's, believe it or not, there's a lot tied to oil, more than you would imagine. And outside of that, those were the three, well, and energy. Electricity, I don't guess everybody's electricity went up this year at home, and so did ours. We did find it interesting that the buildings that we changed over from incandescent or fluorescent light bulbs this past year to LED did go down. We had one or two that went actually stayed the same or actually went down a little bit. So now of course, it would go up next year as a result because using the same amount of power if the rate doesn't decrease, which I guess that's the Public Service Commission is probably not going to do that. But those are the main things. Outside of that, there's not really a whole lot of changes. We've tried to leave everything basically the same. We have a brand new system in place for budgeting. It's going to look totally different this year. We went with, Tyler Communications about a year ago. And so this is our first budget year with that. Rebecca's worked a lot of extra hours this year as a salaried employee, I might add, to get this all input and make it balance. And so, you got anything else to add to that? I mean, we're going to...
No, just that the reports you've seen in the past, they are very different now. They will look very different. The one that's currently in there is the same because I just went in there and manually added the numbers into that. But all the other reports, just like your monthly reports that you've been seeing, they just look different. So still the same information, just in a different format.
Yeah. And so as time goes on, we'll try to maybe set up some additional ways to make it look a little easier to read. But right now it's pretty manual. The software does good things, but it does some bad things. The output as far as the reports just aren't what we're used to. But as far as the automatic calculations, where she used to have to enter it into spreadsheets and such, that was more automatic, which made it a lot easier. And what it does is looks back at 3 to 5 years worth of budgeting as well as your actuals over the last 12 months and then calculates a budget based off that. There's always an anomaly in it because if there's some kind of expense that happens, for instance, the contract services in a department may not hit until June, well, that wouldn't be till this month. That bill's not been paid, therefore it may show up as a zero right now under actuals, and therefore it reflects like a major decrease. It could be like 50%, but we try to go back in and look at those. And plus we've met with each department head, constitutional officer, and elected official. And sometimes we might have missed one and they said, whoa, our internet, our web page or whatever cost X amount of dollars. Well, that bill hasn't come in yet. And so we did, go back up on those based on, but it's usually on actuals that we try to do that when the invoices come in. So the initial budget was formulated in February and March, and now we're still fine tuning, and we will continue to fine tune right up until we get it passed. But That's the same thing, same principle we use with throughout the year is grants or something happen and we did not anticipate that money. What we'll do is bring that in through a budget amendment on the revenue side and the expense side. Yes, the whole budget might go up, but it equals out because you've got the revenues and the expenses that offset each other. But anyway, that's where we are. And so hopefully that is out there, at least on your page. So what we'll do is get that released. And so when the public hearing is announced, we just always like for commissioners to get a chance to at least look at it. So here's your chance to take a look at that and get back with us. If you've got any questions or you want to meet with any department head or constitutional officer, we'll be more than happy to do that, or you can reach out to them directly. Or you can just check with Rebecca and maybe schedule a meeting to sit down with them if there's a particular line item you have a concern about. But again, no major employee changes. You know, we know that someone is planning on retiring next year and they're wanting to hire somebody for 3 to 6 months, then we try to accommodate that as best we can, knowing that's a one-time situation, you know, so that that person can sit with the existing person before they exit office or exit their position, I should say, and to be trained. And we do have a couple of those, but outside of that, there is pretty much the exact same number of employees that we've got today. So, yeah, got any questions?
I've got one request.
Okay.
I would like to have last year's budget at that meeting, so I can look at last year's and this year's.
You can have, I'll get it before the meeting too, not at the meeting. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. All right, so there's really nothing to approve there other than just the announcement of the public hearing coming up. Number 8 is what we added, and this is dealing with Flost and L-Host. Now, in your packet, is this in their packets? I don't put it around.
We got 2,
CG,
3.
They got a couple things.
okay, did you hand this one out already? Okay.
Yep.
So the reason we added it tonight is ACCG, which is the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia, literally released this at 4:57 today. I mean, this just came out. And this is their guidance on the law that was passed recently by the General Assembly. Senate Bill 33 did pass the House and the Senate. It was signed into law, I believe, in April. And as you may have heard, the Georgia General Assembly has been recalled to Atlanta for a special session, which is a rare thing, but they are coming back in session sometime this summer, maybe July, I think. And so when that happens, they always have the ability to bring up anything that the governor places on that agenda. He announced yesterday, Governor Kemp announced yesterday about 3 o'clock that if any legislative people, members, I should say, such as Mike Cameron, has a local act dealing with L-Host, then they can bring that before the special session to be approved. L-Host stands for Local Homestead Option Sales Tax. It is a new local option sales tax in Georgia. Again, it was just passed this year, and it was not even scheduled to be available until January 1st, 2027. Because they're special session, though, now, they are going to allow a local community, or county, I should say, and or city, to bring before them the request for a local act. This particular, because it's brand new, does require the legislature to bring an act from the county level, meaning we would have to vote here locally to request a local act be accomplished, and you have to jump through all the hoops, and they'll help you do that. They'll help us with the timeline of advertising and such. And then if approved by the General Assembly, then in July, let's say, then what happens, it comes back to the county and the city, and I'll kind of explain that here in just a second, why it's also the city. they will come back to those groups and say, now it's up to you to put it on the ballot. And so we could actually put this on the ballot this November as a referendum question. If it were to be approved, the local option, this local homestead option sales tax benefits the homestead property owners only. There's a two-part thing here if you look at that, FLOST versus host. FLOST is been around for now about a year, I think. It was passed in 24, I think. And then 25 was the first year made available as part of this whole changes they made last year. And so many counties last year voted on FLOST. FLOST stands for Floating Local Option Sales Tax. Now, if you call the Georgia Department of Revenue, they don't call it that. They call it the Property Tax Relief, PTR Lost. It's the exact same thing. PTR, if you hear PTR Lost and FLOST, they equal each other, the same thing. FLOST is a 5-year sales tax that can be placed on the county in increments of 0.05, meaning if for some reason we only wanted 0.45%, we could do it, put 0.45%. FLOST does not require local act to be approved. I found that strange, but that's the case. The bill provided that no local act was required initially. If after 5 years the county wanted to continue with another FLOST, then we would have to go back to the legislature to get approval for a local act to be approved. And then, if approved by the legislature, then the county would then take it to the people again for another referendum. Again, that's just for a 5-year period. The maximum is 1%. A FLOST affects all property tax. A L host only affects homesteaded property. All right. So Terry put together a FLOST versus L host. And so who benefits? FLOST is all property owners. L host is homestead property owners only. FLOST reduces millage rate for all property. L host only creates a homestead exemption. All right. The tax rate for both is the maximum is 1%, but the FLOST can be in increments of 0.05, as I just said. Initiation, again, FLOST does require an IGA, an intergovernmental agreement with all municipalities. Of course, in our case, that's just the city of Trenton. And then a voter referendum. L host does not require an IGA. As strange as that may sound, and at least under the current law, IGAs are not required. But we would still have to decide how much the county would get and how much the city would get. It is with an L host, the city and the county both have to seek, it's my understanding, they both have to seek a local act. And they both have to vote on it. If for some reason, for instance, the city of Trenton the citizens of the city chose not to approve it, then 100% of the relief would go to property tax owners, all right? Now, there's a question, is that incorporated and unincorporated? Because people who live in the city also are county residents, right? So I don't know. There's not enough information. We haven't had time to study it, and I think it's probably in the document I just handed you a minute ago. These were still warm off the printer. It looks like this. I'm thinking the answer's probably in there. Let's see. A FLOST lasts 5 years. An L host is up to 10 years. Let's say that the county were to fail it, but the city passes it. It would not pass. County residents have to pass it 100%. Let's say the county did not seek a local act, but the city did. Again, without the county's the county, there would be no L host, because the county has to be, has to have had an approved local act and voter approval through a referendum. FLOST can be negotiated among local governments, meaning Dade County and the city of Trenton. L host is based off of Homestead Digest and reimbursement. So that means, Paula, as exciting as sounds, we'll have to get with her and the department to determine, you know, how many homesteads we have in Trenton and how many homesteads we have in the county, and then determine more of a percentage-based benefit.
I can tell you right now how many homestead properties in the county, the whole county and city.
Okay, how many?
3,328 out of a little over 10,000 parcels.
3,000,
328.
and how many in the city?
I'm working on separating that out.
Okay.
I've not done that yet.
Okay,
32%.
okay, all right. Well, not just property, but home, we gotta live there.
Right.
Sleep
She
there.
said around 3,300 and out
Yeah.
of 10.
Out of 10,000, so.
Okay, yeah, right. Okay, yeah. Excess proceeds collected from a FLOST, there's no explicit excess fund provision. L host, though, can reduce millage rate for all property owners after, let's say if it wiped out 100% of the local homestead, this homestead tax wiped out your local county property tax, then, and only then, it's my understanding, is when you could get into other types of property. And so the primary focus she wrote here was FLOST is broad property tax relief, meaning residential, commercial, rental, all that. Whereas L host is only homeowner focused tax relief. I mean, it's where you have a homestead. All right, so Mike Cameron did call yesterday and he said, I need to know if y'all would like a local act passed. And I said, well, Doc, that's a great question. And I said, we have a meeting tonight and we can talk about it, but Dr. Pullen's not here, so I'd really like for all commissioners, one, to be here. We can have a special call meeting. We most likely, well, we will have a special call meeting in a few weeks to consider adoption of the budget. So when we do that, if it's not too late, then I guess we could get word back to him. If y'all have a preference, I really don't want to make a decision tonight. I'd like to think about it and know more about it because it's brand new.
That, special call meeting, I will be in training the 21st, so.
Okay. Well, it might be, it's probably gonna be the last week of June. Isn't that the public hearing?
the last Friday, is it the 26th? To approve it.
Hearing is on the
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'm good then, I'm good.
Yeah, okay. So, this is a lot to get, but I mean, Georgia is making an effort, and making available a way for, people that shop here, that don't live here, to help us relieve our property taxes. So if it's something you're interested in, please take this, review it. Again, we'll be have we already put this out online? This is already on our website for the general population to begin consuming it and taking a look at. And so you can discuss with folks in the community. We do not have, and one other thing, you cannot have an L host and a FLOST simultaneously. You can have either or, but you can't have both.
Sounds like a bad board game.
I know. And then of course those are the two, and then we don't have a T-SPLOST. Those are the three things. One of those, and T-SPLOST, that's the only things that I think that we don't have that we qualify for. So, feel free to think about it, or let's discuss now. So,
Did they say that on the 1 cent sales tax, is it on fuel as well or not on fuel? Does
1
it mimic
cent,
T-SPLOST?
we understand the only thing that's not on fuel is T-SPLOST.
Okay.
I asked that
So
question.
it should match SPLOST.
Should, yeah. And we sent back, ACCG's representative happened to come by, so took that opportunity to talk to them about this, primarily about this. And so we sent back with her some information about our collections on our history of splost and lost, as well as what we anticipate the next splost to generate. Plus, I don't know, I gave her something else, can't remember. But anyway, she took all that back and she's going to try to come up with some values for us to give us a better idea. But you have to back into the math on the L host. It's just very complicated how to generate how much that's going to equal. I mean, to me, it sounds like it would be easy, but she said it's not. You got to figure out what the
We don't decide the split between county and city. A calculation decides it based on.
But, right.
Yeah.
It said
That's
she's,
why we don't
So
have.
there's a
time.
formula
her
for that, and then
value,
it'll just
she
be.
said,
Yes.
value of homesteaded property tax by city and by county to calculate the exemption value. And then on top of that, there's a base year, and I don't know how that base year affects the following years. I don't know. I don't know enough about it yet. So, and I believe I remember her saying that the local act, there'll be, not only are we calling, the local act requires two things. One, the county to seek the referendum, but also to create a new exemption. That makes sense. There's two parts to the act. Well, yeah, because it's a homestead. It's something that doesn't exist for Dade County yet.
Okay.
But through the act, I guess, okay, that makes sense, yeah. And so through a local homestead exemption, then you create the ability to then vote on it. And that's what the act is doing. It's creating an exemption, and it's also the state's allowing us to have this additional sales tax.
Okay, this is kind of a crazy question, and you may not know, but this is not the same as what our representatives are talking about taking the homestead exemption away, correct?
No, but I think they've muddied the water on that some.
Yeah.
And what you're talking about is, I can't say no for sure because I don't know what their intent is, but I believe when you hear the different campaigns on TV, which we have all heard plenty lately on commercials and sick of it, they are talking about, one, an income tax. If income tax goes away in Georgia, okay, great. But they're going to find a way to collect that money.
Yeah.
And most likely it'll be sales tax. So if our sales tax goes to 14, 15%, and what's going to prevent everybody from Dade County just go right up to Chattanooga or go to Fort Payne and shop? Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe if you're desperate for gasoline, like occasionally I get, and I don't have my little light comes on, I got to go stop over here at the BP or wherever I'm going. And so, but otherwise, you can go to Lookout Valley or you can go to Fort Payne. Do you buy your clothes currently in Trenton? Do you buy your refrigerators in Trenton? If you continue to buy things wherever and have it shipped here, we're getting that tax anyway. When you're out of town, you go shopping, do you say, I don't know if I'm going to buy this item. How much is your sales tax? I don't think I've ever asked myself that.
I have a few times.
Well, that's congratulations.
Because you could get them to send it to your house and then the
Yeah,
tax goes back to us.
So, but anyway, this is a lot to consider, and but I mean, it is a direct savings to property tax owners, and
All right,
and let me throw one more thing out before I forget.
Okay.
The whole thing about, remember last year we were going to opt out and this and that, and didn't the school board opt out?
Yes.
This
did.
law invalidated that. Everybody that opted out just got put back in.
Okay, I figured that was gonna happen.
Across the board.
Yeah.
In all 159 counties. No matter if you did or you didn't, they're all back in now. So I don't know what that means to school boards, but anyway.
all right, let's get very basic here. Next month, we're going to vote I want to clarify this. We're going to vote on whether or not we need a local act, correct?
Next month, or even at a special call meeting later this month, yes.
Yes, okay, so that's the next step, all right, that's the first step. All right, so we do that, and Mike does the local act drill, okay, we get one put in, right, they vote on it, it gets approved, okay, what's the next step after that?
Then and that would only be for an L host.
Okay.
Floss is not required.
Okay, but, no, I'm just.
But let's say we're going down the L host
Whatever.
path.
Yes, okay.
And it's approved by the legislature, then it's my understanding, if they amend the law, because they have to amend the law too, it's not just, otherwise we'd have to, under the current law, the way it's written, we would have to wait till next year to have a referendum. But I have a feeling in July, they're going to also amend the law, so everybody that gets a local act approved will be eligible this fall to place that on a referendum.
That's what I'm saying, so citizens, we have to understand that come November, right, it might be on the ballot.
Correct.
Okay, I just want to make sure,
Well,
because,
in between there, it's gonna be deciding on
Which one we do.
route we're gonna go.
but I'm just saying here, looking at the
If we
thing
do.
here, voter referendum, voter approval, in some way, shape, or form, you know, because right now, citizens collectively, how many times do I have to go vote, right? I mean, you know, but come November, it's going to be serious for many reasons, and this could be one of them. Okay, I just want to clarify that.
And then if the voters voted it down, it's over. If they voted up, I believe the way they described it, it would start collection as possibly as soon as January.
But as a board, we're gonna have to decide which direction.
So, we have to take all this and process it between now and July.
Special session is June 7th.
Well, that's quick.
Well-
That's why he called yesterday and said, I need to know.
Okay, June 7th, thank you.
So,
So we have to have our session before then. Okay.
If we decide we're gonna do the act, we need to do a very good job of educating the people, because the opting out or opting in was not explained at all.
no, it
I
wasn't.
don't think they understood, because for our school board to opt out, it didn't change anything for them, because our exemption was better than what they give us.
Right.
So I think if, I'm probably good with the act, but I'm just saying, if we're gonna do this, we need to educate on it, because it don't read clear
No, it
at
don't,
all.
it don't. I agree with that.
Okay. So we will get with Mike and/or legislative council in the meantime to find out what the deadline of deadlines is. But I have a feeling it's going to be pretty quick. Once they start, they will consider, probably most of them collectively, but anyway. Any questions about that?
Well, many, but.
Gotcha.
But I mean, if we approve going on with it, of saying, yes, we want the act, that just lets us decide which one we want and put it on the ballot, and the
Well-
people can say yes or no, correct?
Well, the floss, you don't have to have an act.
Yeah,
Floss, you can just do.
But that gives us the option of doing
But if we do
both.
the
L host-
act, but if we do the act, then we don't have to do that one, we can still choose the other
I
one.
guess you could. I
Yeah.
would think so.
Yeah.
I would imagine so.
Still gives you both options.
Yeah.
I don't think it would.
So that would be the question I'd wanna know, if we approve this act, and then we spend time figuring out which one we wanna do, are we locked into that one, or can we?
I do not think you would be locked into anything,
Okay,
because it's not been approved by the people.
right.
Yeah, it haven't been voted on, yeah. All righty.
Is that a good way to proceed? Are y'all happy with just give it a week? Few
Yeah, we gotta
days?
process this is,
Okay.
yeah.
well, I say, like, we need to start looking at least by Wednesday or something.
Sure.
So we could get a direction going.
Okay. All right, hearing no other business, we'll recess and then come back in general session here. About 3 to 5 minutes. It's an invocation. And Bob, if you will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to begin tonight's meeting. You all stand at this time.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day that you've given us to live on your beautiful earth. I pray tonight, Lord, as we come before you, that we will realize that we are before you. We'll act accordingly. I pray you'll give wisdom and knowledge to our commissioners and make the decisions that we, the county, can derive from great things. So, Lord, have your way in all things. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
Everyone face the flag, hand over heart, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this is the regular scheduled meeting of the Dade County Board of Commissioners, which takes place the same time on the first Thursday of every month. Proper notice of this meeting was given in the legal organ and the Dade County Sentinel and has been posted in the hallway of the administrative building. At this time, I'll call the roll, have it reported by the clerk, Dr. Pullen, Mr. Hartline.
Here.
Mr. Woods.
Here.
Mrs. Bradford.
Here.
And the chair is present. We have a quorum and therefore a legal meeting. There was no one signed up for citizen participation. Is that right, Crown? Okay. At this time, I'll call upon each commissioner to make any point of privilege. So, Mr. Hartline.
Yeah, I'll start with electrical inspections. We had 23 for the month of May, which was down one from the month of April. In the month of April, we had 7 new constructions, and in the month of May, we had 4. So we're down a few new constructions being started, but we're still building from 3 to 10 houses a month as of now. We did have, the last month, we did have one failed inspection. I didn't get a chance to talk to him to see why. I would probably say assume it's through the meter base and the breaker box on the outside of the house for Georgia Power. Moving to the sports complex, soccer's ended. We've got rec football signups starting this Saturday. I do know he had a gentleman contact me, and we had 2 select tournaments. The first tournament, he said it had about 1,500 people, and the second one, they had over 2,800 people. And I'm pretty sure both tournaments was just a one-day tournament on Saturday, so that was really good numbers there. And then this weekend, we have the Dizzy Dean State Tournament. Starts Friday night, and they play Friday night and all day Saturday. One other thing that I would talk about is Stephen Bonico come to me with a grant. It's been 2 months now, maybe. He had to put in what they call a trash trap for a creek. It's basically like a gate across the creek that will catch trash as it flows through. Did not have a place to put it on, per se, county sports complex property or anything like that. So we got with the city and we installed it in Jenkins Park. So if you walk near the creek, you'll see it kind of looks like a rope hanging across the creek as trash that gets blown out, whatever, and flows through the park that catches it. The city employees, or he's even got an employee for the next year that will go through there and clean it out, and that will help us clean up our waterway going on into Lookout Creek. So I thought that was I thought it was really good to help, especially right there in that point for traffic, trash cans and stuff, it just gets blowed out and blowed away, and then that's where it ends up going through our park. So I thought that was really good, and it didn't cost nothing to us. We didn't have to install it. I think Stevens guys come out and put it in for us, and it was just I think it was like a $15,000 or $20,000 grant that we was able to do that with. And that's all I have.
Mr. Wood.
All right, good day, y'all. First chart, please. TDAC. There you go. All right, as you know, the HVAC, electrical, and plumbing, and the walls are all in progress, like I've explained last month. You got to make sure everything is perfectly lined up before you start installing, because it's not something easily that you can mess up if it's not 100% correct. The director for the animal center, we have that job description, and it's very, very close to being done. So I really think that very soon that it'll be taken care of, and it'll be publicly announced. So if you're so inclined to want to support the animal center as its director, right? that job description should be out soon and everybody can take a good look at it. The Animal Center has an advisory board, and they meet the second Wednesday of each month down at City Hall at 10 o'clock. And the TDAC meetings are now quarterly, and the next meeting is going to be September 1st at 10 o'clock at City Hall. And the TDAC meetings are the ones where the county and city reps go there and we discuss the status of the Trenton Dade Animal Center. Next chart, please. What the Animal Center brought in 29 and they shipped out 29. The Lux Rescue, they brought in 88 this time. They shipped out 110, and the Dade County Pet Project, they spayed and neutered 84, and spayed and neutering is very critical to the concerns that we have here. So the good news is that we have a lot of animals that are leaving. And we appreciate everyone's efforts, both paid and the volunteers that do rescue, and we deeply appreciate that. Next chart, please. Talk about the senior center. I'll say this every month because I just think it's so very important. The senior center adds quality of life to folks. It gives them fellowship, gives them good food. We help provide transportation the best that we can, and we'll talk about that. And they also give them shopping trips, something that everybody in this room takes for granted. But to the seniors in Dade County, it's very, very important. Next chart, please. Trips to they bring in seniors, 355 went last month. Dialysis, 63. You know, and if you know what dialysis is, that's a challenging event. Let's just put it that way. It happens numerous times, and so they need all the support that they can get. I got a family member going through that right now. Other supported appointments, 370. So the total trips that were made, 788. The miles, over 10K. And the number of hours dedicated, all that was over 776. And we thank everyone that's involved with that and all the drivers and everything. That's critical. You can see here a lot of activities going on. Of course, Eddie Cantrell comes in numerous times. They have a chocolate ice cream day, you know. That might be a good reason to go to the senior center, right? They have a Father's Day celebration coming up on the 17th. They have singers and all sorts of good stuff there coming on. And if you're so inclined, they have a blood pressure check coming up on the 24th, if I remember right. So there you go. A lot of good things happening at the senior center. Next chart, please. Again, they have a great menu there every month. So please swing down there and eat lunch with them. It starts at 10:45 every Monday through Friday, and I appreciate it. All right, that's it, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Bradford?
Well, I just want to start with touch bases that we are going over the comprehensive plan, and the more people that get involved, the better it is. So those meetings will be going on. So I wanted to put that out there, and definitely reach out if you can't find them. But Carrie's got all of that everywhere. So and also this is but the budget is out, so this is the time to call your representatives, ask questions. It's not when we finalize it and get it done, it's now. So if you have questions, please call one of us or the office, or don't wait. I always hear it after the fact, and then there's nothing we could do about it, but we're still working on it. So super, super important. Okay, and then I wanted to touch bases. We did finally get in touch with Morgan at, I don't know why I can't ever think of his overlooked materials. I don't know why I cannot get that in my head. I always want to say recycling. So what is going on right now is we're putting out there, he has made a link to go to try to get people to see who is going to be involved. He needs at least up to 50 people to commit to say, okay, this is definitely something that we want in Dade County. It would be at the transfer station. He would have bins that are kind of shown here, the yellow ones, and then he would also give you a bin to go home, so you could put your recycling in there, and every couple days, bring it in when it was full. He also is taking styrofoam. So we've looked at glass, but if this is a for sure thing, then we might step into the styrofoam. But first we got to get through the glass process. So please reach out on either calling me, getting his number, calling him, going to this website. That's the only way right now that we're going to get glass recycle in Dade County. There are other steps that we could take, but this is the easiest route and the route that would not cost citizens anything. So, I think I've been talking about this for 2 years. So it's finally here. We're trying to see if the need is here in Dade County. And I feel like it is. So if he gets here, it would put it over to even restaurants and other businesses. So it would just help us if we could get up to 50 people just to sign up and say that they're ready to do this. And then I just want to touch bases about the newspaper recycling. We're still going strong. So far, I haven't had any complaints or anything like that. So I think everything's going well. I haven't had any. Billy hasn't called me or anything like that. So the container's working and the process is going forward. And that's all for me.
Okay, and remind them one more time on the survey.
Yeah, on the survey of the comprehensive plan
No,
or the
no.
survey of the.
Yeah, it was on there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going on right now is
You go
this.
to, what is it, our webpage? You can jump to.
You could go to.
Right now, it is just, it is on Facebook, and we will put it on the webpage
Okay.
too.
Yeah, we just got it kind of finalized today, really.
It works, I took it.
Okay, I mean, I haven't yet took it myself, so, go there, say that this is something that you're interested in. We kind of discussed, of course, it's been like 2 years since we went over this, so it looks like we're kind of around the $8 range a month that you would pay to take your glass for recycling. So it's still a great process. It'd be right here at the transfer station where you go every day to put your other recycling. So I think it's a great option.
So just go to our county Facebook page, right?
And we'll put it on, it'll be on the news flash this evening.
Okay, we'll put it on the news flash on our website, and then you can take the survey, even if you're opposed to it. I mean, take the survey, and there's a little comment section. If you're 100% for it, put it on there. All right? It's on there. It's on there. Look. Well,
You want mine?
There you go.
hello.
Is this one working? Yeah, here you go.
All right. All right, so can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right.
Yeah.
All right, so on mine, we've got the USDA grant. We did get receive the big check here in Dade County this past week, $406,000 for the 2 new ambulances and some equipment. We're excited about that. Appreciate USDA coming up from Atlanta for that, and they had quite the trek. It was the day that I think one of the interstates from I-75 northbound was messed up, so he made it, and it was a good day. We appreciate that. We appreciate the efforts of our EMS workers, and of course, soon we are currently working on our EMS contract, and we'll talk more about that next month, hopefully. We did have a Memorial Day service, and that was presented by Post 106, and they always do a spectacular job. We did host that here in this room, anticipating rain, because it had been raining for days, and then all of a sudden the sun came out. So, hey, we were protected and protected the equipment and all that, but did the 21-gun salute outside, and that was probably highly advised, right?
Yes.
It would have been very loud in here. So I had a great speaker that day, and the flag ceremony that they do, the folding ceremony, and the table for the soldier that's no longer here. And so it's a great Memorial Day, and we appreciate the efforts of our American Legion Post 106. Alliance for Dade, Eat and Greet was successful. Had a small business development center from the University of Georgia present for that. Thank them for coming, and I believe they're going to take the summer off. It's my understanding. Sandy will probably update us on that here shortly, but a lot of good information from the SBA folks, and they're looking to come up and meet with you and talk with you if you have any kind of interest in small business association or administration loans or such, or just funding in general, helping with a business plan, whatever. They will help you do that. We did have our joint comprehensive plan. It was the visioning session. It was the third one I participated in Dade County. I think maybe the school board did one years ago as well. But Northwest Georgia Regional Commission was our sponsor for that, and our facilitator, Ethan Calhoun and Julianne Meadows, met with us that night. It was last week. Was it last week? Yeah, last week. This week. Heck, I don't even know. It's been a long week, hasn't it? And and so we had a good crowd that night. Julianne said, out of the plans that she's done, out of the first meeting, which this technically was our first meeting outside of a public hearing, this was one of the most well-attended ones that they had ever had. Now, can it be better? Sure. If you still have an interest, like Commissioner Bradford just asked you and told you, please come. There'll be plenty of meetings. I think our next meeting is July 21st at 5 p.m. upstairs in the old courthouse. So if you missed this one, if you're out of town or whatever the situation, we would invite you to come. And what will take place now is they'll begin filtering down the ideas onto paper, and then ultimately we will develop a work plan from these ideas. So again, thank you for everybody that participated locally, and commissioners for the county and the city both were represented, so we appreciate that. Fiscal year 27 budget, we talked about just a little while ago. Here it is. I knew I'd seen this somewhere in the packet. So it's the public hearing and budget review for the proposed FY27 budget. Will be held Thursday, June 18th at 10 a.m. Hopefully here in this room. Are we having an election that day? Okay, great. So we've had so many this year. But anyway, June 18th here at 10 a.m. And this will be an opportunity for you as a community to come out and hear not only about the budget, but what identification of some of the folks like directors, constitutional officers, elected officials, to hear them speak on behalf of what they do for a living and what they do for you, for Dade County, and the services offered. So any requests, budget requests, they'll be making those and reviewing those. And we try to, limit it, but we do and we don't. We want to hear from them, and so we want you to hear from them. So feel free to come that morning. It starts at 10 a.m. It probably lasts a couple of hours. You can come and go as you need to, but again, it's good information and an opportunity for you to ask them questions as well while they are here. And so feel free to come. Ribbon cutting happened for Alpha Insurance. Wes Bethune is now the agent down the road. We're proud of him, and so had a great day with him this past week. And then properly congratulate him on that new business, old business, but a new face to the business. And property tax assessments, as we heard earlier from our chief assessor, Paula Duvall did go out yesterday, right, or was it 2 days ago? 2 days ago, anyway. And so those will now, you've got till the 20th, Monday, July 20th, 45 days. And so if you have any questions, feel free, they will talk to you about your assessment. It could be something that can be worked out over the phone. So feel free to give them a call. 706-657-6341 is their number, 6341. And or you can go on QPublic. Again, that's qpublic.net/Georgia/Dade. And like she said, all of the information should have been updated this afternoon. So the new information's out there for your review. And again, we are hiring a part-time custodial worker. And so if you're interested in that, take a look at that. We also try to post all of our jobs, any kind of listings online now, but you're always welcome to come in and get an old-fashioned application. We will still hand that to you and allow you to pick that up. That's all I've got this evening. I appreciate the commissioners making a report tonight. You got anything else?
When does early voting start?
Oh, a great question. So we get to vote again this coming week. Starts Monday at 9 a.m. here in this room. So we'll be clearing this room again tonight of the chairs, preparing to set that up tomorrow. And 9 a.m. through 5 p.m. daily for 1 week, only 1 week this time. And then the runoff, I know it's Republican runoff. I don't know if there's a Democratic runoff or not.
There is, and sample ballots are online.
Oh, all right, there is, and sample ballots are online. They'll also be posted out here the next day or two. Okay.
They're posted.
They're posted, and so you can come by and take a picture of that or take it home, take one home with you.
They have to vote at their precinct.
That's correct. So the following Tuesday, so we will not vote next Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Then that Tuesday's all day, and that's 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. at your precinct. You have to vote at your precinct. Of course, if you're unable to do either one of those, you can call and request an absentee ballot. I'd probably recommend coming by and picking that up, or at least the application, and then they'll mail it to you, I believe is how it works. But if someone's unable to actually make it to the poll either day. All right. Under appearances, we have Mrs. Sandy White, President and CEO of the Alliance for Dade. So Sandy, thank you very much for coming before us tonight.
Thank you. Good evening. You see here the update on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Our reach are slowly going up, and followers and previews as well. And this is year to date through May 19th. Our Welcome Center stats, we continue to have lots of residents coming through the building for events and to get information. So we had 241 residents. We also had 127 visitors and 112 phone calls. Always, this is available. There are Small Business Development Center and SCORE classes and online courses. Most of them are free. There are some that are low cost. But if you have any information or any interest in that or would like to talk with a consultant, please let us know and we'll be happy to set you up with that. This year we're doing our Destination Dade as a virtual experience. And so all through the summer you can see reels on Facebook about the wonderful attractions we have in Dade County. And please feel free to come by and pick up a visitor guide. We've got the new ones out, just been printed. 10,000 of those have gone to the state visitor centers and regional centers. And then we have the rest, about 8,000 that are here in the community. We have some locally. We pass them out to restaurants and other businesses around town. And the park gets them as well. So feel free to bring your visitors by and pick up some. We are getting a lot of visitors from out of town. We actually had some today from New Jersey and Connecticut that were here for a wedding up on Sand Mountain. Also, too, We are in the news. The Look Around in Flight Park was recognized on Fox Outkick, as well as Macklemore Resort. And this is an example of some of the ads we've been doing. We've got a couple billboards in Chattanooga. We're doing some banner ads on Cityscope magazine, also Discover Dade. We always do a Southern Living ad a couple of times a year during their travel guide section. And then we also have a blog post on Choose Chattanooga. Some of the events happening, of course, the Tri-State Food Pantry has 2 distributions a month, so those are the ones for June. It is U-Pick time, so Lookout Lavender has their U-Pick going on all this month. Of course, there's always things going on at the park. The cave tours are going on, and there's a Junior Ranger Day camp going on. There's a job fair for TVSU for anybody interested in working with them. Also, Bobby Brown Memorial Golf Tournament that's always held every year for the Tri-State Humane Society is going on June 13th. We have a ribbon cutting going on June 8th, so come out for that. WC Logistics and Storage. And then the Wasawalla Farms has their daily lease sale also on the 13th and 14th. Macklemore is doing their songwriter series going on, so check that out. And then we have another forklift workshop going on the 26th of June. The second Saturday market is going on at here in the park on Father's Day weekend. So check that out. They had a wonderful attendance, over 40 vendors last time, and a lot of good attendees. So come out and see us. There, we will have the children's booth at the park. So, also too, it's right around the corner. The 1945 Fair is coming up July 4th. They've got a new event, the Miss 1945 pageant, on July 3rd. So check that out. And check out the parade. The fair on the 4th. And then also coming up, not too far down the road, is the Two Mountains Fine Arts and Crafts Show. So check that out. That is August 8th. And the Get Fitness is always doing some cross-training and nutrition classes for anybody interested. And then also the First Rising Fawn Baptist Church is doing a clothes closet. So anybody needing that service, check them out. And that's it. Come by and see us. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Any questions for her? All right. Also, we have online presentations by Ms. Laura Beth Cunningham and the 4-H agent at UGA Extension Dade County, as well as online presentation available by Mrs. Lydia Sosi, manager of the Dade County Public Library. And I do understand the library is doing their young people, children's activities, yes. Reading programs, and lots of programs right now, right? It's pretty much the month of June, right? At least I know the first 3 weeks, maybe the 4th. Okay, Angela? Okay.
I think so, and they've got their touch-a-truck coming up at the end of this month.
Touch-a-truck, so don't forget the touch-a-truck. And but I'm just saying, this parking lot every day is packed, I mean, with kids. And so it's my understanding they do provide a lunch Tuesday through Friday, and that's free. You can't beat free, right? I mean, so try to check that out at the library this month. I'll now ask Mrs. Rebecca Jones, CFO, to provide the county financial report.
The first page you see there are account balances as of May 31st, 2026. The next 4 pages go over the budget variance report as of April 30th, 2026. Revenues, year-to-date actuals, $14,072,024. Year-to-date budget, $13,995,901, so the difference was $76,113. Expenses, year-to-date actuals, $885,331. Year-to-date budget, $13,561,069, so that difference was $324,262. The next 4 pages go over the lost and splost trend detail since 2010. And then after that, the next several pages go over both the 2015, which is almost completely spent, and the 2021 SPLOST detail. And the very last page is the year-to-date tax collections. The percentage collected as of April 30th, 2026, she's at 96.79%. And that concludes the report.
All right. Are there any questions pertaining to the report? Hearing no questions, I will entertain a motion to approve the financial report as presented by Mrs. Jones.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, I have a motion and a second. We'll now poll each commissioner. Mr. Hartline?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. The motion is passed by unanimous vote. Mr. Robin Rogers, our county attorney. Now, you missed last month, but you had a good reason to miss. Tell us a little bit about that.
I did. I had to be a national. My daughter was graduating from graduate school.
Graduate school. That sweet little thing graduated again. Good for her. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Robin and Darlene's daughter, by the way, when they graduate from college. Okay. Any legal matters, Mr.?
No, nothing to report.
All right. Is there any unfinished business to discuss or vote upon? Hearing none, under new business, the reading of the minutes of the last month's regular meeting and any special call meetings will not be required since all commissioners have been furnished copies in advance. The meetings are public record and available to review in the county commission office. The minutes are included in the consent agenda and will be considered for approval under new business. I'll now ask the county clerk to read aloud the items considered for consideration on the consent agenda, please.
Okay, we have approval of the agenda, and we added number 8, approval of previous meeting minutes, review of the personnel status report, the resolution R-31-26, which is the reappointment of member to the Public Library Board of Trustees, Ms. Lisa Cagle, resolution R-32-26, appointment of a new member to the DFCS Board, which is Ms. Kristen Reyes, proclamation Parks and Recreation for the month of June, proclamation for Men's Health Month of the month of June, and the updated reports for the election building construction project from Robert Roberts.
All right. Is there any discussion regarding the items listed on the consent agenda as presented by the clerk? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented by Mrs. Knight.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, and now poll each commissioner. The clerk recording the vote. Mr. Hartline?
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Yep.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
The vote, chair votes yes. The motion is passed by unanimous vote. There's no need for an executive session. So, we need a motion to for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn?
All right, we're done.
Second.
I'll second.
7:41. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.